Hello there, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so genuinely glad you've decided to spend a little time with me today. Before we dive into any of the information or look at any techniques, I want to take a moment to just pause and acknowledge something. It's something that so many people over the age of 70 experience on a daily basis, but it seems like very few people openly talk about it. And that is the quiet, nagging, persistent fear of falling. Maybe you've felt it recently. Maybe it's a slight hesitation when you go to get up from your favorite chair in the living room. Or perhaps it's a sudden moment of uncertainty when you walk into the kitchen and realize how smooth and slippery the tile floor feels. Or maybe it's just a bit of lingering anxiety about stepping outside your front door to get the mail when the ground is slightly uneven. If any of that sounds familiar to you, I really want you to hear this right now. You are completely normal, you are not alone, and you are in the exact right place. Today, we are going to look at some incredibly comforting, highly practical, and deeply empowering information. We are going to explore how to dramatically reduce falls for good. And we are going to do it together, slowly, gently, and with safety as our absolute #1 priority. Take a deep breath. We've got this.
Okay, let's jump right into this with a really fascinating question. What if I told you that right now, at this very moment as you're listening to me, your body might just be missing one tiny but absolutely critical reflex? And because of this one sleeping reflex, a single ordinary step could throw you completely off balance. Now, I know that sounds a little frightening right out of the gate, but please understand, I'm not bringing this up to scare you. Not at all. I am bringing this up to wake you up to a wonderful piece of news. You see, this isn't some untreatable disease. It isn't an inevitable, unchangeable part of aging that you just have to accept. It's simply a forgotten reflex, a tiny habit your body used to have, that it is simply temporarily misplaced. And here is the truly amazing part, the absolute game changer. The fix for this takes less than 2 minutes a day, literally just 2 minutes. Almost nobody in their 70s, 80s, or 90s knows this reflex even exists until they've already taken a bad spill. But today, we are ahead of the curve. We are going to solve this puzzle together, and it's going to be so much easier than you might think.
Here is our gentle roadmap for today. First, we'll uncover the forgotten balance reflex. Second, we'll go over our safety-first training rules. Third, we'll walk through 6 essential balance exercises. Fourth, we'll learn about daily balance exercise snacks. And finally, we'll discuss the leg strength connection.
Let's start right at the beginning with Section 1, the forgotten balance reflex. When most people think about practicing their balance, they immediately picture someone trying to stand perfectly still on one leg, like a flamingo. But let's be real for a second. Falls almost never happen when we are just standing perfectly still, do they? Falls happen in motion. They happen when we are shifting, reaching, or turning. To understand how to stop this, we actually need to look right down at your toes. You have a beautiful, built-in mechanism called the fall prevention reflex. Here's how it's supposed to work. When you accidentally start to tip forward, your toes are supposed to automatically grip the ground, almost like fingers grabbing a ledge, to create immediate traction and pull your entire body back to your center of gravity. It happens in a millisecond. But here's the problem. Think about how we live today. After decades and decades of wearing thick, cushioned shoes and walking on perfectly flat, predictable indoor floors, our feet have basically been wearing sensory blindfolds. We lose that vital connection to those tiny toe muscles, and as a result, the reflex just quietly fades away. Your toes forget how to grip.
I like to think of it kind of like an electrical circuit in your house. Imagine you walk into a room, you flip the light switch on the wall, and nothing happens. The room stays dark. Now, the electricity is still flowing to the house, and the light bulb is perfectly fine, but somewhere inside the wall, the connection is broken. Your nervous system is just like that broken circuit. The nerves haven't completely forgotten how to fire those crucial toe muscles. It's not permanent damage. Actually, scratch that. It's more like those nerves have just been on a very long vacation. They are sleeping. The hardware is all still there, perfectly intact, just waiting to be used. All we have to do is provide the right kind of gentle challenge, the right gentle signals to wake those nerves back up and flip the switch back on. Once we do, your body remembers what to do almost immediately.
Moving right along to Section 2, Safety First Training Rules.
Before we even think about doing any physical movements, we need to talk about your environment. Your safety is our absolute priority today, tomorrow, and every day you practice this. So let's establish some very firm but comfortable boundaries. First off, please consult your doctor if you have an existing balance disorder or if you've had a recent, serious fall. We always want your medical team in the loop. Second, when you practice these movements, go barefoot if you safely can or wear proper, flat, non-slip shoes.
Please absolutely never practice balance exercises in socks on a smooth hardwood or tile floor. That is basically an ice rink waiting to happen. Going barefoot is wonderful because it allows the skin on the bottom of your feet to actually feel the ground and send clear signals up to your brain. Third, you must always keep a sturdy support nearby, like a heavy dining chair, a kitchen counter, or a blank wall. Do not use a chair with wheels. And finally, rule number 4, if you feel any sharp pain, you stop immediately. We are building strength and stability, not pushing through pain.
Now we reach the core of our explainer. Section 3, 6 essential balance exercises. We are going to look at a gentle routine. These movements are specifically designed to train your body to catch itself safely while in motion. Exercise 1 is the foundation of everything we are doing today. It's called the toe lean. Here is how you do it safely. First, find what we call a safety corner in your home, literally just a corner where 2 bare walls meet. Stand facing into the corner. That way, if you tip a little too far forward or to the side, the walls are right there to catch your shoulders. You are completely protected. Now stand with your feet slightly apart. Keeping your body perfectly straight, like a solid piece of wood, lean your entire body forward, bending only from your ankles. Don't bend at the waist, just lean forward. As you lean, pay attention to your feet. You will naturally feel your toes try to grip the floor to stop you from falling. Let them. Then, use those toe muscles to pull yourself back to a straight, centered standing position. Doing this deliberately 10 times is the ultimate wake-up call for those sleeping nerves.
Let's move to our next concept, and this is where things get really practical for everyday life. I want you to read this quote and let it sink in. Train your body to control sideways movement. We spend so much of our time thinking about falling straight forward, but pause and think about your actual daily routine. How often do you simply walk in a perfectly straight line with nothing in your way? Rarely. You turn around suddenly because the phone rings. You step sideways in a narrow grocery aisle to let someone's cart pass. You lean sideways across the bathroom sink to grab a towel. A vast majority of serious, unexpected falls happen when we shift our weight side to side, and our hips and ankles just cannot coordinate fast enough to correct the wobble. We have to train for the way we actually live.
And that is exactly what exercise 2, weight shifting side to side, addresses. It fixes that sideways wobble. Stand behind your sturdy dining chair or at your kitchen counter, resting your hands lightly on the surface for security. Start by slowly, and I mean very slowly, shifting your body weight entirely onto your right foot. As you do this, let your left foot lift just a tiny bit off the ground. We are talking barely an inch, just enough to slip a piece of paper underneath. Now hold that position for 3 full seconds. 1, 2, 3. Then slowly drift your weight back through the center, shift over to the left foot, and lift the right foot just an inch. Hold for 3 seconds. The magic of this exercise isn't in lifting your leg high. It's in the incredibly slow, deliberate control. You aren't just practicing balance. You are literally forcing your hips, your ankles, and your core muscles to talk to each other in real time.
Next up is exercise 3, the heel-to-toe walk, which physical therapists sometimes call a tandem walk. Think about times when you have to navigate a really narrow space, maybe a cluttered hallway at home, or carefully stepping around a grandchild's toys scattered on the living room floor. That requires your feet to cross over your center line. For this one, find a clear, long wall and place one hand on it for support. Now place your right foot directly in front of your left foot, so your right heel is actually touching your left toes. You're standing in a perfectly straight line, like you are on a tightrope right there on your floor. Then bring the left foot forward, heel touching toe. Take 10 slow steps forward, and then, if you're comfortable, 10 steps backward. And here is a wonderful, absolutely vital pro tip for this. Focus your eyes straight ahead on the wall across the room, not straight down at your feet. In real life, your balance system needs to keep you steady while you are looking up at where you are going.
Now, what happens when you leave the house and you have to step over a curb or navigate a large crack in the sidewalk? That brings us to exercise 4, standing marches. If your lifting reflex is weak or slow, a tiny stumble over a rug edge becomes a full-blown fall. Stand tall, holding on to your trusty chair or counter. Slowly lift your right knee up toward your chest, just going as high as is comfortable for you. Hold it right there at the top for 2 seconds. Now, and please pay close attention because this is the most important part of the whole movement. Lower your foot back down to the floor very, very slowly. Do not just let gravity drop your leg. Do not stomp your foot down. That slow, controlled downward motion builds what experts call eccentric muscle control. It trains your body to gently, safely, and securely place your foot exactly where you want it to go, absorbing the impact rather than just crashing down onto the floor.
Moving to exercise 5, clock reaches. I absolutely love this one because of the friendly, easy-to-picture imagery. I want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine you are standing right smack in the center of a giant painted clock face on your floor. Hold your chair with your right hand for safety. Now take your left foot and slowly sweep it forward to tap exactly where 12 o'clock would be. Bring it back to the center. Now reach out directly to your left side, tapping 9 o'clock. Bring it back. Now reach backward and slightly to the left to tap where 7 o'clock would be on the dial. Bring it back. Switch hands and legs and do the other side. This exercise is brilliant because it trains multi-directional balance. It perfectly mimics the complex, unscripted movements of everyday life, like reaching sideways for the coffee pot or leaning back and over to pet a dog. It ensures you have rock-solid stability in every single direction you might move.
Finally, we reach exercise 6, the sit to stand. This one might actually surprise you, but getting up from a chair or the edge of a bed is one of the absolute highest risk moments for a fall for anyone over the age of 70, yet we almost never consciously practice how to do it safely. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy, stable chair. Cross your arms over your chest. This is a neat little trick that gently takes away the temptation to push off the armrest with your hands. Now, lean your upper body forward just slightly, bringing your nose right over your toes, and push smoothly and powerfully through your heels to stand straight up. Pause for a second at the top to gain your bearings, and then control the entire movement as you slowly sit back down. Again, do not just drop or plop heavily into the chair. Practicing this movement safely without relying on your hands builds incredible core and leg stability for a transition you literally perform dozens of times every single day.
Okay, take a breath. We are moving to section 4, daily balance exercise snacks.
Now I know what you might be thinking. 6 new exercises? That feels like a lot of work, and I don't want to spend my whole morning doing a workout routine. If that crossed your mind, please don't worry. We don't want you doing long, exhausting workouts. Instead, we use something called daily balance exercise snacks. These are just tiny 30 to 60-second bursts of practice that you simply weave into the daily routines you already have. Look at how easy this can be. Do a few reps of the toe lean while you're standing at the counter waiting for your morning coffee to brew. Do some gentle weight shifts while you're standing up during a television commercial break. Try a few standing marches while you're just standing there waiting for the microwave to beep. You see, you don't need a gym membership and you don't need a dedicated hour. These tiny, bite-sized, consistent doses wake up your balance reflex wonderfully, without ever leaving you feeling tired or overwhelmed.
The absolute most important thing to remember here is to treat this whole process as a gentle, gradual progression. Please, I beg you, do not try to do all 6 of these exercises on your very first day. Start incredibly small. Pick just 2, maybe the toe lean and the side-to-side weight shifts. Practice just those 2 little snacks for an entire week until they feel completely natural, easy, and steady. Then maybe add the heel-to-toe walk the following week. Let your body adjust at its own comfortable, natural pace. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And here is a crucial point I want to emphasize. Even on your good days, when you wake up feeling perfectly steady, strong, and confident, do your balance snacks. Why? Because every single repetition you do is like depositing money into a balanced bank account. You are building up that automatic reflex for the unexpected, split-second moment in the future when you slip and you really need it to fire.
Now, let's connect the final piece of the puzzle in Section 5, the leg strength connection.
Having a quick balance reflex is fantastic, but it is really only half of the equation. The other half, the engine that actually keeps you upright, is your leg strength. The data on this is striking. Research clearly shows that people with noticeably weak leg muscles are more than 5 times more likely to experience a severe fall in a given year compared to those with strong legs. 5 times. Now, I don't share that number to cause panic or make you feel bad. Not at all. It's just data. And data gives us the power to act. I share it to illuminate exactly where we have the immense power to make a massive, life-changing difference in our own health.
Let's look at why weak legs are so risky, because it makes perfect logical sense when you think about it. First, when your legs lose strength, it results in slower physical reaction times. Your brain might realize you're tripping, it says, "Catch me!" But the leg muscles simply take a fraction of a second too long to shoot out and break your fall. Second, if you do catch yourself, weak legs mean you have less literal power to push your heavy body weight back into an upright position. Third, it leads to decreased stability in the joints of your hips and knees with every single step you take, whether you are crossing an icy parking lot or just climbing a single annoying step into your house. But worst of all, weak legs result in a quiet, creeping loss of daily confidence. This is the saddest part. You start saying no. You say no to family outings, no to evening walks, and no to living your life fully, all because you don't trust your own 2 legs.
But please, look at the screen right now. Read this quote and take it deep into your heart. Your legs can absolutely get stronger at any age. I mean that with every fiber of my being. It is an absolute biological fact. It truly, genuinely does not matter if you are 70, 75, 85, or 95 years old, your body is not done yet. The muscles in your legs have not given up on you. They are still fully capable of growing, responding, and strengthening. They are just sitting there, right now, waiting for you to give them the right signal to rebuild. Modest, simple, consistent strengthening exercises, done right in the comfort of your own living room a few times a week, can dramatically rebuild that muscle fiber and drop your overall fall risk significantly. That's why focusing on gentle, at-home leg strengthening as your next step is so incredibly valuable once you master the balance snacks we discussed today.
And this brings us wonderfully to the beautiful summary of our explainer today. Protecting your long-term independence is not about doing extreme, exhausting, sweaty gym workouts. It means beautifully and simply combining two things: a sharp, awakened toe balance reflex and capable, dependably strong leg muscles. When you put those two pieces together through incredibly small, highly consistent 60-second home routines, it truly changes everything. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about preventing falls. It is about waking up and walking through your entire day without that little dark cloud of fear lingering in the back of your mind. It is about confidently reaching for the top shelf in the kitchen, stepping outside into the beautiful sunshine without hesitation, and living your life completely on your own terms, in your own beloved home, safely and joyfully.
Which leaves me with just one final, very important question to ask you. Are you ready to wake up your balance reflex and take your first safe step toward lasting independence today? You know you have the knowledge now. You understand the simple mechanics of the toe reflex. You have the firm safety rules to protect yourself. And most importantly, you have the power to fundamentally change how safely and smoothly you move through the world. You don't have to wait. You can start with just one tiny balance snack today. Maybe just try a gentle toe lean in the corner while the coffee brews tomorrow morning. That's it. You can absolutely do this. I believe in you. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. It has been a real privilege. Until next time, please stay safe, stay steady, keep practicing those snacks, and here is to living life confidently on your own terms. Have a wonderful day.